Growth in the second quarter paints a picture of resilience as the economy continues to battle load shedding and logistical constraints hindering business activity. Experts say the better-than-expected load shedding levels over the winter period were supportive. Growth in manufacturing was supported by the production in petroleum and chemical products, as well as basic iron and steel categories. Production in agriculture improved primarily due to increased economic activities reported for field crops and horticulture products, while in mining, increased economic activities were reported for the platinum group metals, gold and coal. Household consumption expenditure, however, decreased in the quarter, showing evidence of the pressures faced by households due to the high cost of living, shrinking disposable incomes.
The one area where we have seen positive growth in household expenditure is in services. The others have gone down. But if you look, it was in terms of furnishings and household equipment, we went on the negative. In terms of food and non-alcoholic beverages, we went in the negative. The only area where we saw a positive growth and a stronger contribution was in restaurants and hotels. And yet it's a smaller component of household expenditure, but it's largely because when there's power outages in the form of load sheddings, people would choose to go out and eat at the restaurants.
Gross fixed capital formation indicating investments has increased, and economists say this could be investments in alternative energy by businesses and households. Data on imports shows a 3.3% growth, largely comprised of machinery and electrical equipment, as well as vegetable products. Exports contributed negatively to growth in what is said could be the effects of freight and logistics constraints.
Gross investment has increased, and usually that's a very good thing. But here we understand that actually part of that is driven by people investing in their own machinery for solar for energy production, mainly solar panels. And we know that that's something that has been driven up, particularly by the middle class and some of the businesses who are trying to support themselves with their own electricity. And so and we see that actually also in the imports numbers, a lot of people importing those solar panels and then installing them to make sure that they can provide for electricity for themselves. And that tells us, of course, that as we know that there's a failure somewhere.
This level of growth is, however, still too low to have a meaningful impact on the high unemployment and poverty levels in the country.
Sub 1% growth, actually, growth that is, very low where we're at is still not enough to deal really with things like high levels of unemployment, trying to deal with our fiscal issues in terms of boosting revenue growth and such like.
It's expected that the local economy will grow at an average of 0.4% this year and at about 1% next year. Gloria Sefako Musi, SABC News, Johannesburg.